Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hana Nabila with the NPM of 1906-356-411. And today I will be presenting about all the things that I have learned throughout this semester in numerical method class and also about my muhasabah. So first things first, I would like to explain about the base teaching or the methods of teaching that Pak Dai uses. So this is my first impression about Pak Dai or Pak Ahmad Indra Siswantara. So before the midterm exam, I learned numerical method with Pak Harinaldi, and then so Pak Harinaldi and Pak Dai uses different methods of teaching. Both are very good, but at first when I entered Pak Dai's class, it was confusing because I didn't know the essence of Pak Dai's teaching method. I remember clearly that in the first classes, Pak Dai always says, "I think, therefore I am," which is a quote by Rene Descartes, and it is about our consciousness and how we must always remember that what we think about ourselves affects the way we exist and the way we live our life. So the base teaching of Pak Dai is to improve our consciousness. From that quote alone, I knew that from this class that is I will improve my consciousness because Pak Dai always focuses on enhancing his students' consciousness by applying a method of teaching that makes us question not only about academical matters, but also conscious problems so that we never doubt ourselves or our existence. And also Padai taught us about the Elon Musk method of learning, where Elon Musk once said that in a video he explains that learning should be like playing a very good video game, which means that learning should be a fun process and it shouldn't be something that we are afraid of. So through this Elon Musk method of learning, Padai implements a fun way of teaching and also a fun way of doing assignments and learning about numerical method. So next is I am going to talk about consciousness and what I learned about consciousness. So consciousness, in my opinion, is the way we perceive ourselves, the universe, and also God. And it reminds us about how we want to live our life. And here are a few quotes from Pak Dai about consciousness. The first one is, "I am my consciousness." And it means that um, our consciousness truly affects the way we think, the way we act, the way we are as a human being. And the second one is, "Think not of consciousness, use your heart to understand it." Because consciousness is not something that we can learn through books or through logical thinking. It is what makes us human. That's why robots can't have a consciousness, and we humans, we have a consciousness because we can use our heart to understand things. And the third one is, consciousness is created by Allah. Therefore, Allah is the most fundamental reality. That means that Allah is the one who gave us humans our consciousness. So our life and the reality that we live in, we have to always remember Allah and be grateful that He has given us consciousness. Because if not, what difference does it make between us and also robots or AI? Next is the numerical method concept, which is the materials that I have learned this semester. Before the midterm, when I was taught by Prof. Harinaldi, I learned about a few numerical methods, which are the closed method, that includes bisection and regular falsi method, the open method that includes Newton-Raphson and second method, and then the Simpson method, both in the 3/3 and the 3/8, and then the Richardson extrapolation and also the Runge-Kutta method. So after the midterm, when I was taught by Padai, we learned how to simulate a gate valve in CFD software. And then also we learned how to use the curve fitting in CFD soft after simulating the gate valve. And then we learn about linear algebra application in numerical methods using a truss problem. So how to calculate the deflection and also the reaction forces in a truss through numerical method in Open Modelica. And then we also learn about optimization, which we also use for our final project about optimization and the way to implement it using Open Modelica or any other code. The next is how consciousness helps me study. Uh, and clearly, consciousness does impact my studying. How, you ask? Well, these are a few points of how consciousness improves my study. The first is that it helps me actively listen in class by staying in the present, because consciousness is about always staying in the present. So every time I get bored in class, I always remember that I have to stay in the present and actively listen to what Mr. Dai is saying. The second is it gives me motivation and a sense of purpose, because as I have explained before, consciousness is about how we view the world and how we view ourselves and how we view God. And it gives me a motivation and a sense of purpose because it makes me want to study and want to achieve a lot in life. And the third is it reminds me to always be curious. So consciousness makes me realize that I still have so much that I can learn, and it is good for me to always stay curious. And the last part is about muhasabah or self-reflection. So from the numerical method class, I have gained a few notes on the output of Mr. Dai's teaching and what I have learned, and also what I am curious about and what affect what how and how it affects me. So the first one is that I have to stay conscious and always have a purpose in life, where when we stay conscious and when we have a purpose in life, our life seems to be more happier and more fulfilling. So that's why we have to always stay conscious and remember our purpose. The second is that although skills are important and knowledge is also important, but nothing compares to attitude and our heart. So we always have to have a good attitude and respect others and also do nice things to other people. And the third is that everybody goes in their own pace, so it is so important to respect others. So not everyone can learn as fast as others, and not everyone has the same way of thinking and the same way of interpreting something. So everyone has their own ups and downs, and everyone also has their own goals. Maybe what I find successful is not what others find successful, and maybe my definition of happiness is not other people's definition of happiness. So we have to respect everybody's decision. And also on that note, this is my inward score. So maybe it is different with other people's score, but I think that I deserve an 83 from all of the effort and also the value that this class has given me. So, and the knowledge also that I have received about numerical method. And thank you. That is all for my class review and muhasabah. Have a great day.